maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
His throw caught at about the 5. And the Vikings are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
And these two hooked up on a nice game that played before, and I always admire play callers that see a play that works and go right back to it, so they went right back to him. The reward, they're set up with first and goal.
Here's Madison running on first down. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Alexander Madison with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings have answered back with a third-quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead. He's given them a little jolt, just gave them the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Browns set and ready to go on offense. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
Faking the give, now Watson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else with the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brian Asamoah working his way in to pick up the sack. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Back to throw. That is caught. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 38-yard line. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. Jerome Ford, 38 yards. And the Browns have yet again retaken the lead. Well, it has been the passing game that's really been responsible for much of the scoring so far. But let's not forget about this running attack. They're pretty good, too, as evidenced right there.
And I think, Brandon, the fact that they've thrown the ball so well contributed to that touchdown, because that was a defense that was really keyed up to cover those receivers. All they wanted to do was blanket them. They didn't have enough men in the box to stop the run, and you saw the end result.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And now out comes Minnesota. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. On first down, they'll start out with Akers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
On first down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Second down, Cousins. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's third down.
And I think he was a little surprised to see the ball sitting out there like that. That's a ball he had a chance to come away with, but it winds up an incomplete pass.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing, Cousins. That's out to the flat for Akers. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 43. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Cousins. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Cousins now. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
If I'm making excuses, and I am, sometimes the sun can be difficult on a ball like that. That looked like it was going to be right there, but it's in and out of his hands. And a potential big play goes by the wayside.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. On the corner blitz that time, the sack goes to Denzel Ward. How about that? The defense's first sack. It doesn't come from one of the usual suspects up front. It comes from the secondary.
Yeah, I think they caught the quarterback off guard a little bit because he wasn't able to account for the possibility of that blitz. and change the blocking assignments. He comes through and puts him on the ground.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
So both offenses come to life here in this 3rd quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd down and 4. Off of play action, it's Watson.
And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteed he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7.
Watson now to throw. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now in the afternoon.
Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board, and of course the guy throwing him, he's a big-time player himself. They brought him from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary. These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. From the 50, it's Watson. He finds his man, complete. That's full. And he'll go down shy of 40 at the 41. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
This is Ford. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Now with third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they like some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Well, this was still going to be a one-score game either way, but still, that's a potentially harmful miss here in the 4th.
It certainly is, because if you consider that now if they give up a touchdown, they give up the lead. So he might be getting the side eye by the defenders coming out on the field now as he goes back to the bench after that miss.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Their defense was able to hold serve, albeit with a little help from that missed field goal as they settle in now 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and a yard.
They go play action. Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Vikings have taken a 4th quarter lead.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead.
Joseph connects on the extra point.
And that gives them a 3-point lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line. They will start this drive with 4. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Back to throw, Watson.
And that one's going to come up a little short. It's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he coughed it up, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Cousins now after the fumble recovery.
Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now Cousins.
He'll find Osborne here.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Now Cousins. That's complete right around the 8. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
1st down marker at the 5. It's 2nd and goal.
Cousins to throw it. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now on the afternoon.
And the Vikings will add to their 4th quarter lead. We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over, and here a late turnover leads to a 4th quarter touchdown and a 2-score lead.
And what's more important is being able to take advantage when a turnover presents itself. You've got to come up with points to make the other guy pay. They're able to do so here, and they've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football game.
Joseph connects on the extra point,
and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 23. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The speed of Jordan Hicks on display there as he gets the tackle for loss.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Watson.
And that's going to be incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now come the Vikings. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today.
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Big impact play, a tackle for loss. So fourth quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more. A great job defensively taking away his receivers, and he was forced to put that one into Lake Erie, but that's what good quarterbacks do. They don't take unnecessary chances if they don't have to.
This offense so far on third down, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is third down and 12. Cousins. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
That's down the field for Jefferson.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing is Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll try and run for this with Akers.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
On the handoff, it's Akers.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Here's Cousins. And that is incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
A little extra pressure with this one for Greg Joseph. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. The kick by Joseph is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Watson. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 23 yards on the play.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Cousins. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Cousins now.
That is incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play, but sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Throwing, Cousins. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already.
4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph for Minnesota.
Joseph's got it, and that will extend their lead even further. So they